Okay, let's be honest. Moving is, well, it's one of those things, right? It can feel like a massive, daunting task. But it really doesn't have to be. So today, we're going to flip the script. We're going to turn all that stress into a super simple, confident process by showing you exactly how to pick a removalist you can actually rely on. So, if you've got a move coming up, I bet you're feeling it, right? That little knot of stress when you just think about the sheer number of companies out there. And you know what? You are definitely not alone. Choosing who to trust with all your stuff, that's a huge decision. It's totally normal to feel a bit overwhelmed by it all. But that's exactly what we're here to fix. Today, we are going to take that stress and turn it into success. Seriously. Just think of this as your personal roadmap, your guide to finding a genuinely trustworthy partner for your move. We want to make sure it's as smooth and hassle-free as humanly possible. So here's our game plan for today. First, we'll talk about why this choice is so important. Then, we'll get into a pre-search checklist, what you need to do before you even start looking. After that, we'll cover how to get quotes that are actually accurate, walk through a simple 3-step vetting process, and wrap up with how to spot those major red flags. Let's do it. All right, first up, moving, stress versus success. And here's the big idea, the main takeaway for this part. A really good removalist isn't just a truck and some muscle. Nope. They are your partner in making a huge life transition go smoothly. So, what do these partners actually bring to the table? Well, it is so much more than just lifting boxes. I mean, think about it. Full or partial packing services, taking apart your furniture and putting it back together again, special handling for all your fragile stuff. Some even offer short or long-term storage. Basically, they handle all the tricky logistics so you can actually focus on, your new beginning. Okay, let's dive into our second section, your pre-search checklist. This part is so important. We're talking about the non-negotiables, the stuff you absolutely need to get straight in your head before you even open a web browser to search for a mover. Okay, let's talk insurance, because this can feel a little confusing, but it's super important. There are 2 key types every, and I mean every, reputable company has to have. First is public liability. This covers damage to your property, think a scraped wall or a ding in the doorway. Then there's transit insurance. That protects your actual stuff if, say, the truck gets into an accident. Now, here's a massive pro tip for you, and this one could save you a world of headaches. Check if the company is a member of the Australian Furniture Removers Association. That's AFRA. It's such a simple check, but it means so much. See, AFRA members have to follow a really strict code of conduct, and they're required to have all the right insurance. It's like an instant layer of confidence right there. And this quote, it just hits the nail on the head. A company's reputation is honestly one of the most reliable ways to figure out if they're any good. So please, don't just take their own website's word for it. You've got to dig into independent review sites and see what actual past customers are saying. That's where you'll find the real story. All right, so here's a big question. Do you go with a local guy or a big national company? Let's break it down. Your local removalist, they're going to have amazing knowledge of your area. Traffic, weird access points, you name it. And the service can feel a lot more personal. On the other hand, a national company has that huge network, which is a massive plus for long-distance moves. Honestly, there's no single right answer here. It really just depends on what your specific move looks like. All right, moving right along to section 3. Preparing for accurate quotes. Now, this is where you come in. This is kind of like your homework, because to get a price that you can actually trust, one that won't have nasty surprises later, you've got to give them the right info from the get-go. So here is your little checklist for success. Before you even think about picking up the phone, get this stuff ready. Both addresses, obviously, a really solid inventory of your things, especially the big items like couches and fridges. And super important, make a note of any tricky access points, like flights of stairs or a super narrow hallway. The more detail you give them, the better your quote's going to be. Simple as that. Okay, now we're getting into the active phase. Section 4 is all about the 3-step vetting process. We're going to walk through exactly how you go from having a bunch of quotes in your hand to signing a contract feeling totally confident about your choice. And look, it's a really simple but incredibly powerful 3-step process. 1, compare quotes. 2, review contracts. 3, verify insurance. That's it. So let's break down exactly what that means. Step 1, get at least 3, and I'm going to say that again, at least 3 detailed itemized quotes. And that word detailed is key. If you get a vague one-line estimate, be super wary. That's often where they hide extra charges that'll bite you later. A real pro will have no problem breaking down every single cost for you. Okay, step 2. And listen up, because this one is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to insist on a written contract. A handshake deal or a verbal agreement, it's just not enough protection. That contract should spell out everything, all the costs, the dates, the addresses, and that awesome inventory list you put together.
And finally, step 3, we're circling right back to insurance. Don't just take their word for it. Ask for proof. Ask for the actual documents, their certificates of their policies, and get really clear on what's covered. For example, accidental damage that happens while they're loading the truck, that's often not standard, so you need to ask about it specifically.
All right, we're on the home stretch now with our final section, and trust me, this one is vital. Section 5, how to spot red flags. This is all about making sure you can protect yourself from the dodgy operators and avoid those all too common moving day nightmares. So here are the big warning signs to look out for. A quote that seems way too good to be true? It probably is. That's a red flag. If they ask for a huge cash deposit up front, that is a massive red flag. No written contract, vague answers when you ask about insurance, a whole bunch of bad reviews all mentioning hidden fees. Yeah, you need to run, not walk, in the other direction. Because at the end of the day, this is what it's all about, isn't it? The right removalist doesn't just move your boxes. They give you peace of mind. They give you the assurance that all your possessions, all your memories, are going to arrive safe and sound at your new home. So there you have it. You are now prepared. You got the checklist, you know the process, and you know exactly what red flags to watch out for. So the only question left is for you. After all this, what's the one thing you'll look for first to find your perfect moving partner?